It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop, and next week, find this program exclusively with America's Talking Network and the Center Square, as we are going to be on the ground at the Republican National Convention, credentialed media, bouncing around all over the place. I'll have exclusive interviews one-on-one with people. I'll take part in gaggles. I may go to some of the off-site events. It's going to be an interesting week. But to give us a bit of a perspective as to what to expect and why this may be important for Illinoisans is a delegate for former President Donald Trump for the Republican nomination, and that is former State Senator Darren Bailey. He joins us live here with Illinois in Focus Daily. Senator, thanks for taking time. And obviously, this is going to be a pretty busy week, but what are you anticipating going on here, and why is this important?
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of excitement. I was an alternate delegate in 2020, but unfortunately, because of COVID, they didn't, nothing was held, so I wasn't able to participate. So this is all new to me, and I don't know. I sense excitement in the Republican Party as far as, just the disastrous policies of Joe Biden and the actual incompetence, and knowing that we can get somebody back in place who has a proven track record, someone who truly cares about America and had 4 years of absolute prosperity for our country. So there's excitement knowing that Illinois can be play a part in making that happen.
So talk about some of the logistics here. How much have you been given advanced knowledge of the schedules, and any ideas to when we're going to see maybe the announcement of a vice president for the former president heading into November? Any insight you can give us that really hasn't been broadly reported?
Well, really the only insight that I know is that security is going to be very, very high. We've been, I actually made reservations off-site at first, and then was told that, hey, you better stay with the delegation at the hotels, or otherwise you might not get in. So security is going to be high. Actually, I'm supposed to get the agenda today, I think. So I haven't really seen a lot. So still waiting on that. And yeah, rumor had it that President Trump was going to pick there may be an announcement yesterday. That, of course, didn't happen. So in Trump world, things happen as President Trump wants them to happen, and we all sit back and kind of wait for that to happen.
Senator, tell us about the Republican platform. I've seen a few headlines here and there about issues concerning abortion. I even saw a headline about, whether or not they're going to have state by state reciprocity for concealed carry, for instance. How important is that Republican platform for people in Illinois, for people in Texas, for people in Washington State or Pennsylvania? How important is that platform that it, I guess, walks that line between what some people may say is extreme versus what some people may say is a big tent?
Well, I think it's important to, keep that platform. I like our platform. Sometimes here in Illinois, Republicans don't always stick with that platform, but that's one of the reasons why I choose to be involved, is to make sure that platform stays the same. I think I personally, that the people of Illinois know that I am unapologetically pro-life, period. And I will do everything within my influence to make sure that the platform does protect life 100%. I think everyone in Illinois knows that I will do everything possible to protect our Second Amendment rights as much as we can. So again, that's why I chose to be a part of this movement and to protect the integrity of what I believe are the true answers to turning this country around that the Republican Party has. We've just got to bind together, stick together, and stand on that platform. And if we do that, I think the American people will see something. See something that's going to make life, better here in America. Because I don't think over these last 4 years, I don't know of anyone that can contend that they are better off today than they were.
Former State Senator Darren Bailey with us here with Illinois in Focus Daily, getting a preview of the Republican National Convention that is starting next week in Milwaukee. The Center Square will be there on the ground, and we'll bring you exclusive reports here with Illinois in Focus Daily. Senator, when it comes to Illinois' role in all of this, obviously Republicans are in the super minority. You've got, what is it, 19 electoral votes? And obviously Illinois is a winner-take-all state. Going into the convention with those, characteristics of Illinois Republicans in the super minority state that's likely going to have all the delegates go to Biden, or whoever the Democratic nominee is going to be. How can Illinois, what kind of role do you think Illinois is going to have in that scenario?
I think that if the people of Illinois will show up to vote, Greg, we when I ran for governor and in 22, we saw a 45% turnout. I mean, this recent primary, we had a 23% turnout. People are so frustrated, and that sometimes is the American spirit. It's just like, to push aside anything that's not working or anything that's false or fake. And a lot of people have done that with government. They've just pushed it aside. They've got the noise out. They're no longer watching the news. They're no longer checked in. And their form of rebellion seems to be, I'm not going to vote. My vote doesn't count. Chicago, it's crooked, it's rigged, it's blah, blah, blah. If people will show up and vote, and we can see a truly high turnout of only the 70%, all we need is 60% turnout of the 70% registered voters here in Illinois. And I think if we do that, I am confident that there are many conservative, I'm going to call them minded people. This whole Biden debacle, I mean, I am literally embarrassed for him. Watching that debate last week, I have no idea how anyone can put their faith and confidence in what's going on. So something's got to change if Republicans will stand true to their platform. I've been preaching that for the last 7 years. 7 years ago in 2017, right about now, I started running, and I announced my intention to run in a primary against a state representative. And I've seen the mess. I've witnessed the mess, but it's nothing that can't be fixed if we stick to our platform and if people show up to vote.
If you could expand a bit on those who continue support for President Biden as the incumbent on the other side of the aisle. Governor J.B. Pritzker yesterday said he doesn't want to look at hypotheticals. He's standing behind Biden and Kamala Harris heading into the convention. Did he not see what others have seen? Do you feel that he's shared enough of the conversation he had with President Biden and party leaders to reinforce that support? Your thoughts on that?
Well, J.B. Pritzker's a liar, and you can't believe anything that comes out of that man's mouth. But I've said it in the debates 2 years ago, and I'm going to say it again in November when that day to cast our votes comes. It would not surprise me at all if J.B. Pritzker's name was not in that slot. So there is no way Joe Biden can continue on the journey that he's on. It's just the debates showed and proved too much. I think a lot of people were shocked, but the agonizing thing is the amount of people who subscribe to that side of the aisle to sit there and stay behind that and say that that's okay, that's normal, I'm still going to support that party. That's the doom and demise that I think is going to drag our nation down. And again, if Republicans will stick to their values, we've got the ideas: less government, lower taxes, protecting life, protecting the Second Amendment. We've got it. But unfortunately, the message too often gets watered down. And I do believe that President Trump can restore those values and faith in our party. He struggled with our party, for when he was president 8 years ago. So I think I think if the Illinois Republican Party and the party in general gets behind him and sticks to what can fix this nation, I think we can see some better days ahead. I truly have faith in that.
Just a couple of more issues with former state senator Darren Bailey, a delegate for former President Donald Trump heading into the November election. Before that, of course, we got the Republican National Convention next week. But Darren, you've got the questions about voter integrity, right? I mean, on a couple of issues there. One, how confident are you that Illinois is doing it right? Be it 40 some odd days of voting. It's not election day. It's like election month, including 2 weeks after election day. Do you have confidence in that system? And then also, you've got members of Congress looking to ensure that people who vote in federal elections are American citizens. Well, it appears Democrats saying they don't want, voter ID, for instance. Your thoughts on the integrity of the votes?
Well, there are concerns. It's certainly not bulletproof. But the problem I contend with, until we see a high voter turnout, it's difficult. The Democrats are able, in the governor's election, J.B. Pritzker put $35 million behind, mail-in voting initiative, and it worked because they got votes in. Who can contend when we still have less than a 50% turnout? My argument is that if the people aren't going to show up, that argument is null and void. People have got to show up. And if they show up, there is no way in this world that Joe Biden or any Democrat will be the next president. And so that's my argument. It's been my argument all along. As a state representative in 2019 and a senator in 2021, I put out legislation to go back to paper ballots. I mean, why on earth why is everything electronic now and it takes longer, than paper ballots used to? I mean, so there are issues, there are concerns. Why not have voter ID? I mean, I literally stood up on the House and the Senate floor when we proposed and talked about voter ID, and all I heard was mainly from our friends in Chicago was well, what a burden that was going to put, a financial burden to have to pay for the card, and that was my argument. I said, hey, I'm for lower taxes and less everything, but if we have to, I know that. 5 years ago, some minors could go to the Secretary of State's office and get an ID card for $5. So if we have to pay and give people their voter ID cards, driver's license, whatever, I think that'd be a very wise investment to help build the faith in the integrity of our voting system. But unfortunately, the majority of our elected officials don't want to hear or see that.
Former State Senator Darren Bailey, a Republican delegate for former President Donald Trump, heading into the RNC. Again, the center square will be on the ground at the RNC. Senator, I imagine, will cross paths there. So greatly appreciate you taking time and previewing some of the conversations we expect to hear in the week ahead. I
look forward to it.
All right. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Thank you for being here each and every weekday morning. And be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join us as we give you a lowdown of what's going on in the land of Lincoln each and every weekday morning. All right. America's Talking Network on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Subscribe to Illinois in Focus anywhere you get your podcasts. And, of course, follow us at thecentersquare.com.